Hello, person. I've been completely normal this week. Nothing has changed. Sorry about that. I just received comments about the trend. I know who's on here right now. Certainly not me. Oh, whoops. I just realized I've started this in the wrong place. Oh, yeah, thing that I posted yesterday. Yeah, it's gacha trend in particular. That's why. Yeah. Basically, I'll explain once, other people are coming, because I'm sure there's going to be someone who's like, what was that yesterday? Okay, all right. In the meantime, I'm going to set up the opposite way that I normally do, because that's just what I decided for some reason. Oh, no wonder the vidIQ extension wasn't working. It's because for some reason it doesn't actually show up. Okay. Yeah, essentially in that video I look like this upside down smiley face there. Essentially from the ring. I don't know. That being said, did I manage to finally make it so that the vidIQ extension works on Edge as well? Because I didn't even know that was possible. I thought that it was the stuff of legend. I probably did that yesterday, by the way, the whole fantasy thing that I sometimes do, or just have fantasy narration for something. Oh. Well, this also isn't right. Oh, okay. It wants me to sign in back to YouTube again. I don't get what's going on. I'm pretty sure I was signed in 5 seconds ago. Oh, and I need the two-factor authentication. All right, trying to sign in. Yes, I am. All right, give me a code. Oh, just says line improved. Okay. Normally gives me a number or something. Now I just wait for that. That should take me back to this page here. Sign in that way. Yep. Stop moving. Stop moving. And I'll probably close the other windows that I have. I can watch videos about how shipping ruins certain shows later. Definitely not, fueling my own case when it comes to that, and not going overboard with such details. Totally not. I'm sorry, the chat's been going on like crazy. So, I'm going to put chat overlay on for a second so I can actually catch up with that. Except for some reason, why is it? Did everything just move around for some reason? I'm not sure why. Okay, I'm just going to read them normally. Let's see. Okay, so yes. Okay, yeah. Upside down creeper. That was for the trend. All is well. That's good. Milk and popcorn are right here. Don't worry, I actually got them this time. I'm not fully unprepared. I've got to the bottom of the bag, so now I've got the small small chips as well, some of the larger ones. Let's see. Okay, we have a sick face. Disgusting. Oh right. Oh, is this when I mentioned the whole like shipping thing? Yeah. Basically, one of the YouTube videos I was watching was how shipping ruins Star vs. the Forces of Evil. But yeah, all is not well, I guess. Oh well, I'm sorry to hear that. In particular, if you want to elaborate, go ahead. If you don't, then don't. That's fine. Shipping fuels the fandom. I know. I'm just saying, like, it's probably that video in particular is when shipping goes overboard. Like, honestly, I'm not against shipping in general. In fact, I've fed into that multiple times with my own shows or with stuff like Athmal, for example, when I've talked about traveling at length and why they are the best ship in the show. Stop your case against shipping. Yeah. I just know that sometimes, you know, when you have one particular ship in mind, sometimes the creator will heavily disagree. I'm also going to put the light on myself because I've been in the dark for too long. I don't want to be a cryptid forever, you know? Yep, shipping is great. Oh, that really stirred up some people. Yeah. Yeah. It's fuel, yep. Without shipping, a fandom dies. I don't know if that's necessarily true. Without shipping, a fandom diminishes. I'm not sure if it dies completely. I mean, you know, particularly for you know, kids shows and and shonen anime and stuff like that. You'll probably be fine without ships in those, but they're still good to have. Which I guess can be a negative in many regards, but it's also a bigger positive. Yeah, like I said. Oh, and now we've got people's favorite mutant girl ships. Which, by the way, I'll also mention something else before I set out completely. Since we're on the subject of mutant girl in particular, who is excited for episode 9, which should be coming out hopefully tomorrow? Depends on if Quanti's able to do the thumbnail or not. She had a headache yesterday, so I was like, you know, it's fine. Take the day off. We'll sort that out later. Then Julie Arwick, yes. Like, we're not making a Garmao issue. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I didn't have too many issues with Garmao when that was a thing. But yeah. Oh, right. Okay. We're not harassing the creators. I see. Yeah. No, in fact, no, I'm just saying, like, in particular with mutant girl ships, if you guys come to me and, you know, I love it when you guys, like, rant about your own ships and why they're, and why they should be a thing, because sometimes the arguments are hilarious. So I enjoy them. Please keep them coming. I thought you said 40 seconds to upload it, confused. Oh, right. Well, yeah, so that was until I uploaded it. I put it on unlisted for now because there's no thumbnail for the time being. So the video itself is unlisted, but it's prepared and ready to go. I think I've got all the credits on and all the tags, you know, all of that YouTuber mumbo jumbo. So essentially, once I've got the thumbnail, I will schedule a time for it to be posted and it'll be posted. So, yeah. Oh, then was only existed in Micah. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I think that's a good enough build up. So thumbnails a separate upload. I mean, yes. I mean, you've had channels in the past, haven't you? That was the thing. Yeah, thumbnails. Well, basically, not necessarily, but it's like it's part of the upload. So before I turn the video from unlisted to public, I'll go into the section that says add custom thumbnail, and I will add a custom thumbnail. Okay, people seem to be leaving because they seem to be bored with my incessant discussions of the intricacies of YouTube itself. So I think that's actually a good cue to set up sharing screens and to go into Little Maids Club, Season 3, Episode 7, which I just realized is not on screen yet. There we go. All right. Yes, we didn't do that, but that was my other friend. We just did the editing all together at her house. Oh, I see. Okay. That would probably make editing fun, actually, doing it with other people. Maybe that's why I find it so tedious all the time, unless I'm doing like shared screen stuff. Okay, more people aboard. More people aboard. Let's keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. All right. So, season 3, episode 7. Again, I think this is the one where they're really going to start talking about, the not necessarily the name of the main cafe, but the idea to actually do one in the first place. I think Kawaii Treat and MAIDS comes later. I'll say also that the thumbnail for this one in particular has like white outlines everywhere. I don't know if that was like a new style. I'll have to pay attention to that. But I won't bore you with that because people seem to be just abandoning me left, right, and center. So without further distraction, on with the reaction. That is if it decides to load. Okay. So I'll put that there because all of my settings are backwards, so I'm not sure if this is going to echo or not. Again, if it echoes, actually tell me. I'm going to have the chat up here in a second. Please let me know. Don't just wallow in silence. Wow, Aphmau. Okay.
Did you just seriously try that?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You know, if you were gonna try to put your arm around me, you should have just followed through with the motion. Like this.
Oh, hold on. Oh, yes. Okay. Again, shipping cute. Hold on a second. I just stopped the chat up. On with reaction, hits play, nothing. Yes. Wallows in silence. Okay. Is that just a joke, or is that you saying that it's actually not working, Shiny? Because I need to know. I does have to know, in the words of the great Aaron Hansen.
Now what?
Well...
The door. I'll get it.
Oh, wait!
Well, that's that then.
Miss Aphmau? Kawaii-chan?
Oh, well, once again, Kawaii-chan, or dare I say, Miss Chan, has interrupted her own ship, actually. You're your own worst enemy, Kawaii-chan. You do know that, right? It echoed kind of when Aphmau yawned, but then the echo vanished. Okay, fair enough.
Are you okay? No. Oh my god.
Whoa, Kawaii-chan, are you okay?
No. Aaron, can you give a moment alone, please?
Yeah, no problem. Could I make you guys anything?
Kawaii-chan would love it very much. Thank you, Aaron. Would be Kawaii-chan.
You say strawberry for seconds. Let me go back to that.
Thank you, Aaron-kun. Kawaii-chan would like...
Could I make you guys anything?
Oh.
Strawberry tea?
Strawberry tea? Wow, I'm honestly surprised. Right, okay. If it's like loading or something, that's probably what the actual glitches are. As for actual echo and stuff, yeah. This is why I don't tend to swap these over. What if I actually just did this? That might work.
Kawaii-chan would like that very much. Thank you, Aaron. Sit down with me, Kawaii-chan.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm starting to hear that now. The video's like the Aphmau one, not the live. Okay, see, this is interesting because I'll just go into the process of what I normally do, basically. Since we found out for some reason that that when a person is hosting, they will they will have issues like it will lag when you're sharing screens. What I decided to do from then on actually was to do a simple fix, which consists of inviting myself onto another account. Oh, okay, no. You'll see what the problem is normally. Inviting myself on a hidden account and screen sharing with that one rather than my regular one, which is why I always have two browsers open, hence the echo sometimes. Although, having swapped them around and now seeing that the glitch is from here, maybe the actual issue it has is streaming on Google Chrome itself rather than on Edge. Now that I've swapped them around, maybe that issue's been resolved. I'm gonna try it. Why not? Let's do it. Let's I don't know. Something good will come out of this. Yeah, Edge, as in Microsoft Edge. Is that not what the browser is called? The one that everyone has, like the default of Windows 10. Oh, and yeah, of course, by Edge, I'm of course referring to the browser, not just, Zane's cologne from the APHTV bloopers, Attract all the ladies with Edge. Or something. I don't know. Should I just do like a cover of APHTV bloopers or something in general? You just call it an annoying little Patrick Stewart's character in the Emoji Movie. I see. Okay. You forgot. Okay. All right. I guess. Oh, you remember Edge. Okay. You don't remember Edge. You remember Edge. Very, very big difference. I agree. Okay. What was I doing? Oh yes, screen share. Okay. This may actually cause lags that I'm not aware of yet, but we're just going to attempt it. And already we're off to a great start because it's not going to full screen. There it is. Okay. Let me just check what number did we get up to. 129. Okay. Okay, we'll go to 124 and then we'll start there. People are setting off fireworks. Okay. I love how white chocolate melts in your mouth. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that any chocolate melts in your mouth. But yes, that's very true. Yeah. I don't know about people setting off fireworks. I'm not sure why they'd be doing that. Remember the 8th of October when, I don't know, pyrotechnics abound or something. Anyway.
Tell me, what happened?
Well, no, Zane could talk Kawaii-chan so many things about being mature, and one of the things was not to overreact when something goes wrong.
And also not to, call people by Japanese suffixes, which you've been doing for the entirety of this episode so far, Kawaii-chan. So how much has it really sunk in? You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But even with all of Zane's great advice, Kawaii-chan still hasn't found
And of course, now she refers to him as Zane. Okay, right.
a job. I so hard, nothing has come up at all. I'm going to need a job soon because rent is due, and Kawaii-chan doesn't want Caitlin to have to pay for my part of the rent. Kawaii-chan, have you talked to Caitlin about—
Welcome to capitalist America, Kawaii-chan. That's like the one time I get super political in a video.
this?
It's the same here sometimes, people seeking jobs. It depends.
No, Caitlin's been spending time with her brother Casey at our house. Plus, this is Kawaii-chan's problem, and Kawaii-chan wants to deal with it herself, which is why I feel bad coming to you after all said.
Okay, I will say, Kawaii has been doing way better at this. Again, if we go back to season 1, she was still trying to make sure that people didn't rely on her and actually take responsibility for herself. You could argue that that's also the thing that she's been trying to do with teaching herself how to be serious. She understands that she needs to grow up and not actually do that. Oh, great. Now we talk about the echo. Thanks for not mentioning that until now. We have unemployed, reply for unemployed. Yes, I know that's like a thing everywhere. I'm not saying that. Okay, what was I saying? What was I saying, actually? Okay. Oh, yes. Yeah. So this is a consistency thing. She's actually, she's always trying essentially to, to make herself into less of the character that she was originally, arguably enough. Less of the one that everyone gets, well, half the fandom gets annoyed at, or not the fandom, necessarily, half the people that watch the videos and get tuned out get annoyed at. Because yeah, trust me, all the complaints that people give me in the series usually start with Kawaii-chan. But yeah, I just enjoy that. I've actually, like, someone actually started, one of my uni friends started watching my channel recently and watched the last stream that I did, and he actually said that he thought it was really funny, the fact that I was pointing out all the inconsistencies in last episode with season 1. Well, this time I'm doing the opposite. It seems that so far we're on the right track. And you're trying to see the fireworks. Okay. You felt bad still tried to fix it. I'm trying to fix it so that you guys can enjoy this. That's why. It doesn't work if people just, don't tell me something's going on. Okay. I'm trying to think from this perspective. If I do that, and let's see. White chocolate buns, and now I'm sad. Yeah, to be fair, white chocolate buns are amazing. You kind of want to play Bed Wars after this? Well, we can. Yeah, why not? I actually bought some new batteries for my mouse, which ran out a while ago. So actually, I'm able to finally, play some Minecraft with some people once again, especially PvP games that require mouse clicking in the first place. Okay, let's try this. Did I did the change. I did a change. We'll see if the change is a change that is good or not. Oh, now I can't hear anything. That's not helpful at all. Okay. Definitely still need to think. Okay, I'll try the opposite method. And you know what? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn up the volume because I don't trust you guys anymore. I'm going to turn up the volume on my phone and I'm going to listen into the stream myself and figure this out. Oh, I can hear myself talking now. Good.
Kawaii-chan.
Don't feel bad.
It's more mature of you to say when you need help rather than suffer in silence.
Oh, definitely agreed. Okay, yeah, definitely. Really it's still happening. I help you and you don't trust me. Yeah, to be fair, Shani, you did actually say what was going on, so that's fine. I accept that. So that makes sense. Hmm. Okay, well, thank you. Noted. Bridge doing Bed Wars. What, for trying to give you guys a good stream experience? Well, excuse me. Excuse me, princess. Okay, so do? I'm just looking at random things right now. Okay. I think I have an idea. If I just remove that from there, and I decide instead to go into, instead of one tab specifically, go into the entire screen. Absolutely share the system audio, because otherwise it's, you know, what's the point, am I right? Okay, so now I'm just going to show you guys my full screen. Actually, I'm going to go back to here, which on my phone looks like that. Okay, so it's not like an entirety of full screen. Oh, no, didn't mean to do that. I'll stop that screen share, which in turn will convert this screen share into a regular theatrical one, which I can have on muted, and then I can play the audio for you guys on the tab, which isn't. Okay, I think we're in business now. Oh, I also have to fast forward this. Right, where were we at before? 232, okay. Maybe I just go back to the old method. I just got home from work, melts into ectoplasm. Cassie's ectoplasm in a sentence. Dang you, smart person. Well, she's basically ghosty. Pretty sure ectoplasm is a ghost thing. It kind of makes sense. I heard that Air is actually the worst Disney Princess role model wise, according to parents. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. I'm probably gonna go with Aurora for that. You know, just get hitched to the guy that immediately wakes you up without asking any questions whatsoever. In fact, in the original Sleeping Beauty, he actually does more to her while she's still asleep, and she wakes up because she's actually given birth while she's asleep, and one of the twins that she gave birth to has actually sucked the poison from the spinning needle out of her finger, and that's why she wakes up. So yeah, weirdly enough, Aurora in the Disney film was actually better than Fairy Tale, but still pretty bad. I'd go with her for that. I think Ariel actually knows what she wants, is fairly driven to actually do so, makes mistakes because he's very rash and is also like 16 years old, so for crying out loud, give her a bit of leeway to make mistakes. Yeah, I don't think Ariel's the worst, personally. I heard that Aphmau Meow plushies were in Walmart. Oh, I didn't know this. Unfortunately, I don't have a Walmart that's near me, or maybe even in the country that I live in. But if someone does see those plushies around, please do send me a picture of them at least, or something, because I'm very curious. She took an apple from a stranger. Yeah. What about Snow White? Yes, that's true. I will say as well, Snow White does have different redeeming features in the sense that she actually was willing to properly earn her keep and actually could make a contribution to the Seven Dwarfs without necessarily, you know, going into the mines that are probably dwarf-sized anyway, or something. She actually like, you know, makes an effort to make them all happier or something, and, you know, get to know them all. So yeah, I think actually in terms of romance, Snow White is definitely the worst, and also like takes an apple for strange or whatever. But as an overall character, she does have more redeeming features than just how she ends up. Basically, that's what I think. Maya, get Jacob Apple plushes for more months. I'm going to war now. Okay, fine. I appreciate that, people. Okay. Oh, we're at an all-time high of 6 people now. I guess talking about Disney princesses brings out the fans in all of us. Fair enough. Snow White also kissed a 30-plus-year-old man. Yeah, I forget how old her prince actually is. It's been a long time, a long time since I've watched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I need to watch it again. It's really just a fascinating film, especially for like what it actually means to cinema. But yeah, I was going to talk about that some other time. You're in the US of a chance to go to war, then yeah. As soon Beauty gets together with someone she never met and was 100 years old. Yes, I talked about Aurora already, actually. Yeah, we covered her to begin with. I require an offering of Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading cards. Very well. Trading cards you shall have. Draw monster cards! Or I don't know. Just constantly drawing, like, you're just like waiting there for the person to finish. Like every time they put a card in their hand, it's like, draw monster card. It's like, okay, we got it. Yes, all right, fine. They get to like card number 7. It's like, oh my, by the way, this isn't, what a surprise, another monster card. Anyway. Aphmau wouldn't make a good princess. Well, don't tell her that. Don't tell her. But Pocahontas is a Disney princess figure. Oh yeah, that's right, Pocahontas as well. I will confess, I don't think I've ever watched Pocahontas all the way through. I know it's incredibly historically inaccurate, and ironically enough, I actually read, like, when I was in the US, I read a kid's book of the actual Pocahontas story and enjoyed it. So potentially whatever memories are still running around in my brain, which probably are more than I realized because that's just how my brain works. Maybe I'll like it a little bit less, but we shall see. I know, considering that I've got NordVPN and Grade A Andre has given a trick as to how to get streaming services at lower prices, depending on how much you use it. Actually, I might be able to get Disney Plus for quite reasonable at some point, and actually catch up with all these different things. Maybe do what Dan Avidan did and watch all the Disney films in order of release or something. Anyway, not even a prince from Mrs. Two Classes Prince, which is Disney hero. That's marketing. That's marketing happening. So, so yeah. In terms of Mulan, because I don't know. I mean, I guess it's another female-led film, but that achieved enough box office success in order to count. It's not like, you know, The Black Cauldron with Princess Ailonwe, for example. Or I guess with the one that has an actual live-action counterpart, whose name is Giselle. I forget the name of the film, actually. But yeah, so yeah, I think that's yeah. But I think that's why essentially she actually, it's literally just a marketing thing. I don't know where I was going with that, but that's that. Oh, a monster prize. You got the monster card. Yes. Okay. When I was I got that. Pocahontas is kind of racist. Well, I shall look out for that when I actually watch the darn thing. Yeah, Von Schweetz. Oh, Vanellope Von Schweetz. That's another. Okay, it's interesting because as far as Disney marketing goes, the princesses kind of have to be at least teenage age or adults, depending. I mean, and whether they're princesses or not by actual classification is somewhat irrelevant because technically now Anna and Elsa are both queens, but they're still in the lineup. But what was I going to say? Yeah. Vanellope is a different story because as far as like, you know, Disney theme parks go, people dressing up, you know, employees dressing up as the princess characters in order to actually, you know, meet them or stuff, it's a bit more difficult when you have to find somebody to also be Vanellope. That's probably why she demotes herself to president, at the end of the first film, and then only kind of goes back into it when she realizes that there are other princesses out there that she can really talk to in the second one. I think that's what's going on. So yeah, Vanellope is a very weird case, but so are quite a few other ones. If you haven't looked up Princess Eilonwy from the Black Cauldron, that's another example to really look into, because technically there's no reason that she should be a princess, really, but she technically counts. I don't like how Anna and Elsa are both queens of the same kingdom. Not the same kingdom necessarily, neighboring kingdoms, if my memory serves me right. It was like one of the last films I went to see in theaters before, the all of the cough went down. Yeah, separate kingdoms, completely separate. Yeah, thought so. All right, that's my Disney princess talk for the day, I think, unless something else comes in chat while I'm waiting. Oh wait, no, I missed Shang as a bisexual legend. Changed my mind. I don't know. Shang is kind of like the Duke Orsino from 12th Night, in the sense that I guess he kind of sort of seems to fall for the boy version of the female interest that he ends up marrying later on. That's kind of what happens in both of those stories. So I guess if Shang's a bisexual legend, then perhaps so is Orsino. And people say that Shakespeare can't be relevant these days. I thought they both ruled Arendelle at separate times. They ruled Arendelle at separate times in almost separate movies. The only person is good idea for movies that performed well. Exactly. That's why Black Cauldron's not on there. I firstly put on my Minecraft Halloween skin. Fantastic. I don't have one. Let's carry on watching the episode. Which I can't hear.
Wouldn't mind giving me
Another chance? I don't
do that.
Here you go, ladies.
Let me applause
Thanks,
that.
Aaron.
Let me know if there's anything I can do. I'll be upstairs.
Oh, for crying out! It's still there. Everything I do, I don't know. I honestly don't know how to fix that now. Like, it's almost like that was the only setting that worked was the one I had originally. I won't swap browsers next time. Okay. Let me just think. Again, I'm still thinking. A lot of thinking going on.
Stairs with Celestia and Eli.
Listen, Koichi, I'm not sure to do that. It's not up to me if she gives you another chance or not. Besides,
Evidently, people think that Kawaii-chan's going back in what I said before with about her whatever. This is a moment of actual desperation. It's not this is the last resource that she can kind of think of, and she avoided going to Aphmau for as long as possible, which for lots of characters in MyStreet is not the first instinct to avoid going to Aphmau. It's rather the opposite. So yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's another thing. We're still talking about Disney princesses in here. Okay, Kuzco is the best Disney princess. Fair enough. All right then. My boss was 20 minutes ago, and it was nearly 40 minutes ago. I don't know, unless it stopped and started. I just didn't realize. I don't know. I don't understand why Moana's being the daughter of the village chief makes her a princess. Isn't that kind of the same thing for Pocahontas then, if that's the case? It depends on what one considers to be a king or queen. Shuri should become a Disney princess. I actually don't know who that is.
since she fired me. What do you mean? Well, you were the fastest server at the restaurant, and now orders are just going crazy.
Okay. I just keep putting my ear straight to my phone. Okay. I'm the best Disney villain on YouTube. Oh, okay, the Princess of Wakanda. Okay, fair enough. Yes, that's actually a good point. We haven't had any Marvel original Disney princesses, but also Shuri can't actually be a Disney princess for one simple reason: she is not animated. That's the requirements, because they have to keep the marketing exactly the same, and having the animated characters that just drawings, you can keep that way. That's part of what makes it work. So yeah, unfortunately, that's probably why also Princess Mia Thermopolis is not on there. Pretty sure that's a Disney-owned film, right? Yeah, I think so. That's I'm the best Disney villain for one reason: I've never been animated. Well, Disney themselves might disagree with you on that sentiment, but I don't know. We'll see.
So things have been really hectic. I don't know if the boss would be in any mood to help you with a job.
Well, you two went to the boss in season 1, and it was hectic there because you just fired someone, and you got fired. You two got hired out on the spot pretty much. So it's entirely possible again.
Don't worry, Aphel. I get it. It's perfectly fine. I'll just keep looking. I love the main cafe so much. It just hurts to have lost something you love doing, you know?
Fair enough.
I know, Kawaii-chan. You know what? I'll ask the boss if I catch her in a good mood. Huh? You will?
I was like, never.
Absolutely. But only if I catch the boss lady in a good mood. Aphel said bye! Miss Aphel. Don't mention it. Now drink your tea. I have some cookies I can serve with them. I made them myself.
Who serves any kind of tea in a glass? What Neanderthal decided to do that?
What?
Look! It's in a glass! You don't do that! You don't serve hot beverages in glass. Oh, unless it's that American cold tea I've heard so much about. That's a thing. Okay. But they do have drawings because of the new Marvel What If series. That doesn't count! That doesn't... Because not everyone's, that was like not a theatrical release thing. It's not like the same marketing strategy at all. Second of all, that's an alternative version. And third of all, they've already had a princess character in a movie that has live action components in it, and they haven't cast anyone, that haven't included there in the lineup, because in the theme parks they'd have to be somebody else, and that ruins the illusion. Fun fact, actually, in Snow White, the voice actress Adriana Castellotti actually was not credited for like 80 years almost. People only found out recently what she was called. Even well, she actually did get a star on the Hall of Fame or something like that. But yeah, essentially, like, no one knew, because like crediting voice actors was not commonplace back then. So actually, and actually, it was almost like she was barred from auditioning for anything else, actually, especially Disney related, because it would ruin the illusion. Because suddenly you'd have, you've got that's Snow White as this person or whatever. Glad those times have changed, because here's Aphmau, 70 odd years later, actually casting the same actor to play like every single character. And I'm all for it. It's not every single character, but you know what I mean. Every single character, that'd be like Aiden, actually. Aiden does every single character, the same actor. But but yeah, Aphmau does multi-roles, and that's a good thing. And it credits the voice actor, was an even better thing. Okay, yeah, it's an American thing. Okay. Can I have hot tea in a glass with ice? Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. Because it's like, yeah, you need something like this recipient for tea. Like, it's a hot beverage. Why would you make it cold? I mean, add strawberries, fair enough. I'm actually kind of interested to see what tea made out of strawberry leaves would be like. I don't think it would be red, weirdly enough. I don't imagine the strawberry leaves leave the same color as the strawberry berry, but what do I know? I guess I can look up strawberry tea later or something. I can actually do that right now. Let's go into Google. Let me see what strawberry tea looks like. Strawberry Fields, Liverpool. Nope, that's not quite. Could go on a Beatles tour at some point while I'm here. That's something to consider. Right, strawberry tea, and go to images. Let me see. Okay, I'm glad you're showing me boxes. Oh, it is red. It actually is red, and it has like strawberries, the berries inside. It's not made from the tea leaves at all. How is this tea? I don't get it. Okay, that's okay. I'll investigate that later. Do they do Yorkshire strawberry tea? I don't think Americans know what Yorkshire is, so probably not. Considering that my dad actually at one point he was credited in for like doing a presentation or something, and they actually had his credentials as University of New York. He did not go to the University of New York. He went to the University of York. Big difference. But they just didn't see how that was even a thing. It's like, which is weird because they didn't believe him that there was a place called York or something. But on the other hand, I've been to US school. In elementary school, I was taught about the Pilgrims coming from England and naming places in the US, aka New England, after places from from England itself. It's like how the island of Jersey was the inspiration behind the name of New Jersey. York became behind New York. It kind of makes sense. We have a county here called Hampshire. There's a state called New Hampshire, and people just don't seem to remember that when they get older. I think the real thing with American education seems to be that not that you don't get taught certain things, but you don't get taught how to remember those things. Because, blimey, I could have told them a couple of things as a 5-year-old. That's not good. And yes, there's a Hampshire too, and the Jersey and the York. Exactly. And you just don't realize, where do you think those names came from? Why do you think they knew something? For crying out loud. I'm sure, again, you're in American education right now. Have you ever learned about the Pilgrims before? Like the story of Thanksgiving and such. I'm sure you have at some stage. Ancient colonies. I mean, that's a fair assumption, to be fair, but inaccurate in this case. Okay, so you did learn about Pilgrims. Well, there you go. That's where that comes from. And when I was in the US, I too learned about the Pilgrims, and I determined that was what happened. Oh dear. Okay. You know what? At some point, I'm just going to have to go to, I don't know, an American school. I'll just to see what the place is actually like, for crying out loud. Maybe I'll do maybe if I ever do, like, I'm gonna say I'll do a live action Newton Girl or something, and then I'll just say I need to familiarize myself with accurate American high schools for this new version or something. Just make any excuse, and I'll just go around, just observe what happens in teaching. I remember food has become inaccurate. Okay, that could mean a plethora of things. So I'll just leave it at that for now. Become a guest speaker at my school. That's another method, but I need to actually observe the teaching process. That's what I'm really intrigued by, like that. And I guess some of the social aspects too, because obviously my experiences with American high school are limited to MyStreet, Phoenix Jump High and such, and also Nickelodeon Disney Channel. And I guess a lot of that also has sometimes been assumptions as to how something would work based on my British experience. So that's why the Music Girl has very blatant differences in terms of how it actually operates. Thank goodness for Aiden coming along and sorting those out. Can I be live action Mowick? I thought I didn't want to be Mowick anymore. Also, if we're gonna go with with live action characters, they're going to have to actually look like the people themselves in the future. That's the thing about live action acting. You have to actually get that casting down. Particularly, I can see an issue already arising with you playing the live action Marwick, honestly. I can tell you about my very American Ohio school. I mean, yeah, like, you know, personal experience and stuff, that works too, but, you know, I want to actually see it for myself at some point in my life, you know? Get to the point where that I missed out on because of, you know, once again, my dad actually, I mean, that's why I moved to Spain and here. But yeah, I'm not complaining about that necessarily. It's just that's one thing that's become a curiosity in my mind now. Anyway, weird enough from an academic perspective.
I'm so excited. Let me get them.
Oh man, Caitlin would love these cookies too.
They're her favorites.
Maybe I'll save some for her.
Maybe? Wow, half now. Okay. Welcome to almost hour 2, by the way. And we're still on the intro.
Look at this one, Casey. Oh man, this brings back memories.
Oh, wow.
That one was a classic. We had no idea how to get macaroni out of your hair.
I do love the fact that the picture doesn't just imply the fact that, you know, Casey was a playful child. That's fine. But it also implies that the reaction from whoever took from Caitlin's dad or potentially her mom, so I'm not sure when Elizabeth actually left the family, was not to actually help Caitlin out or tell Casey off, but to take a picture. It's like, oh, my daughter's suffering. That deserves a picture. Come on. Never assume American school is nothing like the TV shows. Yeah, that's why I draw from multiple sources as best as possible. That's why. But yeah. OMG, the brother. Yeah, Kawaii-chan said before that Caitlin was, actually, to be fair, that was like almost an hour ago. That's fine. Then can I be Morwenna? Wouldn't it make more sense for you to play Reina? Like, again, I'm not sure about this. Like, I do want to do a live action Mutant Girl at some point, but obviously that's going to actually, you know, that requires like several different processes and stuff, and actually, you know, getting to actually probably cast people in real life and such. Probably have an actual registered company for crying out loud or something like that. That's way down the line. By that point, you guys probably might be too old for the roles. Like, honestly, I'm not sure. Until I actually you know, get to a point where I can really properly delve into this, the most that will happen is I'm gonna adapt it into a stage play. I already promised Emily I would do that. Oh, you meant based on looks? That's, I mean, yeah, but then again, no one has a purple wig. Let's go slow 5 minutes before class is end and opens again 5 minutes after the next classes start. You say like the doors to the actual classrooms, or to the or like to the actual entrance itself? Told you do know near 30-year-olds act as teenagers, right? Yes, but what happens when that happens? That's a complaint that people have. You know, I understand that myself, but considering that that the Mutant Girl itself, the story kind of revolves around these characters growing up, it would definitely be nice to go with the Disney Disney/Nickelodeon method and actually cast people of the appropriate age for the appropriate age. I know that's not what everyone does. I'm sure people are going to point out that Riverdale is the perfect example of what not to do. But still, it gets distracting after a while. Can I see your comment? Let me look. Oh, customer. Can I have the macaroni and cheese on a plate, but put the cheese on another plate? Employee, what? Oh, that reminds me of when I had to try and like articulate the fact that I was a vegetarian and couldn't like eat actual, and I know, and whenever I have like, I try to do you could say like a cheeseburger without the burger. That's what I tried to order when I was at El Bath del Hielo, the Ice Palace, which is like, you know, because we celebrated lots of birthday parties there. There was no vegetarian menu, so I just like tried to get so when I was ordering, I had to try and say, oh yeah, try to say a cheeseburger without the burger, which in English makes sense, but in Spanish I have to say a hamburger with cheese without the hamburger. That's the only way to articulate that, because hamburguesa means the complete thing and also just the patty. Like there's no other way around that. So I was just there every single birthday party dreading when I would be asked about that. And I would spend like ages. Sometimes they'd just bring me the thing with the actual meat itself, and then people would, you know, complain that, I know, some of the meaty juices have been absorbed by the cheese, and I tried to remove it and therefore get something different. I was like, I just want food. That's some repressed childhood memories right there. They're stuck with the pilgrims, I guess. They lock bathroom doors. Oh, is that like because of like the hall passes and stuff like that, and bathroom passes? I see. Well, yeah, I don't think there's any. To be fair, I don't think I can actually portray that in Gacha anyway, because there's no actual. There's very few actually like closed doors and stuff. Gacha's not very good at having settings that people can like walk into. You have to kind of already be in there or just about appearing from off screen, which even then is difficult for some people, because I do that with green screen. Not everyone knows how to do that. So people just will teleport inside more often than not, or they'll start, you know, within the action. That's a gripe that I have, you know. Doors and Gacha do not get along. I hate how teachers lock bathrooms. Oh, you get that too. Oh, interesting. I got locked in a bathroom once. I kicked the door 6 times before somebody heard it. Yeah, that doesn't sound right. No, that's not a good idea.
It was so sticky.
I remember. I had to get my hair cut like a boy. I was so mad at first, but it ended up being the best haircut I ever had.
Which is why I don't have it now. If it was the best haircut, then try again, Caden. I don't know.
I want to try that haircut again.
Oh!
You might as well. You're already putting in highlights and stuff.
See, look at this one.
I'm going to have to remember that, actually, because I'm pretty sure that Athmal actually does take that picture in season 2 of Phoenix Drop High. That's like for later. I need to remember that or something. I don't know. I'll log it with the pilgrims and the hamburgers with cheese with no hamburger.
Remember when Aphmau took this selfie? You were such a freshman back then.
She brings back fond memories of a simpler time for me.
Looking at old pictures does that.
Yeah.
A simpler time. The year I got beaten almost to death by a werewolf. Good happy memories.
Your album doesn't have any pictures of Mom here.
Nope, she's in a better place now.
Caitlin, that's not...
Let's just move on to the other pictures, shall we? Oh, look!
The implication being... I see what you did there. You're making an American high school back over Jacob that met me. Okay, wait. Don't worry about that too much, because like actually wait a second. I actually am gonna need one of those for season 3 of The Mutant Girl. I'm gonna need several of those, because I can't just use the same background as the middle school, which is the ones from default in Gacha. So yeah, actually I might need one of those. You're onto something there. Maybe it's more as a prison background. Yeah, we'll see. Obviously, it needs to have some sort of element of happiness to it, for crying out loud, but accurate happiness per se. Is she dead to them? Yeah, I think Elizabeth really is. Yeah, I think the implication is she's in a better place now, away from them. That's the idea. I'm pretty sure. Can I have a cheeseburger with no cheese on it? So he wants a hamburger. No, I said I want a cheeseburger with no cheese on it. That's a hamburger. Okay, yeah, that's different. Yeah, if you ask for a cheeseburger with no cheese on it, that is just a hamburger. I get that. If you ask for a hamburger with cheese with no hamburger in Spanish, the implication is you just want the cheese. But you can't say that because for some reason those be like, I don't know. Like that takes like 5 seconds to make. I'm not sure why they'd be complaining they have less work in the kitchen to do or something. I don't know. Yeah, a hamburger with no burger. That's like normal to us, but in Spanish it just doesn't make sense.
Get this one! It has your baby butt! Maybe I'll go show this to Half.
Don't dare. She's got a boyfriend.
So? It's not your big butt, it's your baby butt.
Hey! Got a big butt? Do we?
I don't depends. I mean, she has called his butt concave before, so count your blessing, Casey, because it could be worse. Chat. Has there been no sound for some time? Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to stop messing around with the audio. I'll fix it for next episode. I'm sorry. Oh, wait, the sound just died. Okay. Wait, Shani, try refreshing. See what happens. I'm going to do the same thing, actually. Oh, yeah. You broke your phone? I don't think so. I hope not, because it seems like Shini's having an issue, too. Maybe it's the great British sound shortage of 2021. We're only just now beginning.
10 minutes. Where's my order? I'm so sorry. We're short on staff lately.
Excuse me, miss. I'm ready to order.
1 second, please.
There's a snake in my soup.
No, sir. This is a really giant noodle.
How do you even make one of those? I also get the reference. Oh look, there's the bit cheeseburgers from previously. The implication being that Jason never replaced the models, and therefore they're the exact same burgers as they were in last episodes, and they just left expired burgers out for ages to rot, essentially. No wonder you're getting less customers.
Will this day ever end? Things are so stressful here.
Ma'am, could you stop monologuing and get us our food? I'm sorry.
No blacking off.
Yes, ma'am.
I also love how Aphna only took this job as a favor to Kawaii-chan, and yet she still actually stayed on. Like, that's actually, I don't know, that's commendable in some way. Not be agreement to the manager, like they both quit. Poor manager. Well, stay put. Oh, there's a purple carpet with the white outlines, much like the thumbnail, and Aphma's uniform. I guess that's the theme for this episode. I saw a donut. Yes, I also taught I tore a putty tat.
Done for the day. Finally. Huh? That's right. I need to talk to the boss lady. Excuse me. Ma'am?
Yes?
May I have a word with you, please? It's about work.
Fine, I suppose. But make it quick. I've got a lot of paperwork to file today.
Right. Well, today was stuff in terms of getting everything situated with the customers. And I was just thinking...
You aren't getting a raise anytime soon.
Oh, nice to know.
That's disappointing, but I'll take it on board. This episode, Athmel calls OSHA for death code violations. I mean, you could have done. That's fair. Death code violations. I love how that's part of OSHA. I love that. Death code. There's a nice ring to it.
But what I wanted to talk to you about was the craziness going on in the cafe. How did you notice things around here have gotten worse since Kawaii-chan left?
Athmel, look, I know Kawaii-chan was a good friend to you, but you never had to manage her.
I know, trust me.
If you have to say something, just spit it out.
I mean, you can't.
Ma'am, Kawaii-chan is really falling on hard times now. I understand she was rather clumsy at times, but she's changed a lot.
I mean, heck, the previous person that was in a job position was Michi, and that was even worse.
Now, I wouldn't vouch for her.
Oh, health code violations. Okay. All right. I was going to say, because, like, I know about OSHA, because thanks to MatPat's video on Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, but yeah, that seems extreme to have part of it be a death code.
If she was bad at her job, but you know she was her favorite, and she was really good at being a maid. You have to have noticed it takes more time to do things now with her gone.
I understand that, Athmel, and I'm looking for new hires as we speak to fill her position.
And that's why I've got all this paperwork. Literally all the stacks of paper of all the new hires that I could personally select from.
But let's be honest with each other. Kawaii-chan was very, very annoying to work with.
Huh?
Ah, the boss lady represents the fan base, not the fan base, the non-fan base of the series. Again, the people that watch this for the first time and, you know, see Kawaii-chan and they're like, oh, nope, definitely not for me.
She was loud and she was way too, what is that, fangirly?
What's that newfangled thing that people are talking about? Fangirling? Why would anyone fangirl in a maid cafe? It's not like they're built for a niche audience or anything. I understand my demographic perfectly. Nothing to be seen over here.
She didn't deserve a job like this. Now, people who can control that's the kind of person I'm looking for.
But boss lady, Kawaii-chan was good at her job, and not a lot of the customers found her annoying at all. She's not annoying at all.
I was gonna say the people that go to maid cafes would probably enjoy Kawaii-chan in general, usually. Oh, so yeah. It'd be cool if Mr. Beast and Athmel did a collab. Maybe, but what would they... Actually, yeah, Mr. Beast plays Minecraft sometimes. They could do a collab. You're right. Yeah, I can see that. I can see that happening. Fangirling is great. Yes, it sure is.
All the time.
Yes, well, she annoyed me personally. I never really liked her. So, I found a reason to get rid of her, and I took it.
Oh,
What?
I forgot about this.
It's business, Athmel. Don't take it personally. Besides, this is good for
Even though I found a personal reason to dislike her. Don't take it personally.
her. We're the only maid cafe in town, so her being out in the real world will make it so she gets some life experience to calm herself down. It works for both of us. Now, if you could take a seat out now, I'd like to discuss the promotion with you.
Okay, wait a second. Wait a second. You're discussing a promotion for Athmel. Fair enough. But about 1 minute ago, you said that she's not getting a raise anytime soon. So are you telling me that you're going to try to promote Athmel to a higher position, which will usually promotions would require probably more hours, a great amount of expertise, and therefore more difficult work to achieve? And usually the incentive for doing that is a higher pay, but yet you're going to give her all of that without the extra money. I'd just be like, no, thank you. I'll pass on that. In fact, Atmal's response is even better than mine. Yeah, fair enough. Exactly. Just be like, I'm fed up with this person.
What is this?
I'm sorry, boss lady, but you've changed. You're just different. I can
Honestly, not really. She's kind of is the same. She was desperate back then. She's desperate now.
respect that. But Kawaii-chan, her being annoying to you, well, that was your opinion. She's a wonderful, kind girl. And I'm sorry, but if someone can get fired for an opinion, then that can go for me too.
Well, you hear that? People that didn't like this series when it came out. You hear that? All the Kawaii-chan haters? Exactly. Right there. Why can't I just see that happening to Reina as well? Because people have been complaining about Reina recently as far as like her being annoying or a hated character or something. I was like, what is happening? Why? It's just Reina. But yeah. Sorry, Miss Karen, I quit. Yeah, pretty much. Calming down is overrated. Bribery. I mean, Boss Lady just said no. I mean, why doesn't Boss Lady have a name? I don't know. Oh, well, if there is, well, I'm glad you think so. I'm glad you think so. Yeah, definitely.
Right?
As long as I'm in charge.
Then, I'm sorry, but I'd like to find work elsewhere.
Well, that's fine. Thank you for your service here.
At least she's cordial about it. Like she could, she could have like built up a storm or something like that. But no, she kept her composure and she actually does understand Atmal's perspective. I mean, she really is a businesswoman. Like honestly, she fits everything quite nicely, honestly. And yes, I will do my Levi drink as a farewell to this maid cafe. Bye-bye, boss lady. We part on bad terms, but respectful terms nonetheless.
I'm glad you got a chance to work at a maid cafe, especially at an establishment like this one. Good luck finding another job.
You serve cheeseburgers. Your establishment for a maid cafe? Sorry, that vegan. Yeah, I know, Miss Karen. Haha. Raiders been played by like what 3 or 4 different people. I think it's Dark in the Hogwarts. That would be Geneva, honestly. Geneva's been played by 5 people. One of the people who played Reina actually only filled in. And actually, yeah, it's only 3 people. If you count Caroline as the one time she actually subbed in for Emma. Because the 2 official voice actors of Reina have always been Maya and Emma. Anyway, all the Dumbledore actors, which again, only 2 of them. Well, I guess like in the original series, because I mean, you've got Jude Law now, obviously, and whatever. Okay, yeah. Maid cafes are popular in Japan and most tourist cities. The appeal seems to be aesthetic. Cute waitress is literally the name of the game. I can see where Kawaii-chan had trouble. Yeah, I can get both perspectives, honestly. I mean, I'm not too much of a fan of like the whole I found a reason to get rid of her and therefore I took it, and I'm confessing that right to her best friend's face. That was never going to go down well. But everything else, I do love situations in stories, in TV shows, movies, books, whatever. In just stories in general, where you can see both sides of the character's perspective. Like you understand what went wrong with them, maybe why they couldn't communicate necessarily to each other, why they couldn't bring themselves to do so. In the case of misunderstandings or whatever, but just in general, you don't necessarily know who to side with. Now, Aiden, on the other hand, hates that kind of thing because he likes to have a one defined opinion about something, and I'm constantly throwing him for a loop in terms of different perspectives. And also another thing about that is that if there are 2 perspectives, then people can draw from them and actually devise the fan base a little bit. So on that note, look forward to Mutant Girl episode 9 tomorrow, because we've got a situation one of those coming right up. You know, served served with a, with a hotter serving than most of those cheeseburgers probably are.
Kawaii-chan,
Oh wow.
what are you
Okay.
doing here? I'm sorry, Aphmau, but I want to see how things went. I know you might not have talked to the boss lady, so I was gonna come here and talk to her myself. Even brought her a basket of sweets for putting up with me when I did work here.
Oh.
I quit my job. You what? Why? Because I want to find a new maid cafe to work at. But there's no other maid cafe.
Again, I'm surprised that Admiral's like, I want to find a new maid cafe. Did she enjoy working there after a while? I guess Kawaii did her a favor in a way by dragging that one day. It's gonna fall on a public sidewalk. I think they're sitting on like, it's like elevator. Look where they're sitting there. It's kind of, yeah, I guess. Unless we've got a brick road. We have a brick road I haven't noticed. I'll look in a second. Fast food is entry, but cheeseburgers are a rarity. Normally, cute Japanese food is common in these establishments. The main cafe is a sham. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. And actually, Jason again pointed that out in his Cinema Sins parody. Was like, wait, this is a maid cafe. Why are they serving cheeseburgers? Which, yeah, why are they serving cheeseburgers? What was that? I think Aphmau just maybe she looked into maid cafes a little bit later and got into them as she was writing the series and not beforehand. I'm guessing. I get the feeling that she kind of does that sometimes. That where she'll look at something that's popular or a rising trend and include it, and then it will eventually become like matching her own interests. It's not like fake it till you make it. It's more like fake it till you become it. Essentially, I think that happens sometimes. Either that, or she'll have it allied to somebody, another character or something, like the One Direction poster, and then just let that be in the air or something. I guess until the band breaks up and you have to work that into your script too. Anyway.
This is the whole one. Yeah, it is the only one. For now. After, Kawaii-chan, I want to open up our own maid cafe. Are you in? Kawaii-chan? Yes! Kawaii-chan, put it down! It was just a simple question!
And so Kawaii-chan's voice resonated across the maid cafe, tormenting the boss lady forevermore. And that's why the place closed down. Also, Admiral stole the boss lady's paperwork and just gave it to Aaron. It's like, here, hold this. And also, let's look at pictures of dog toy work. That works too. Yeah. Enjoy our blank pieces of paper as well. We need to come up with ideas.
Hey guys!
There's a lot of scene losses there.
What you guys doing? Scrapbooking?
You're a maid cafe, both of you.
It's just an idea for now.
Idea or not, you have my support 100%.
It's just an idea for now. Meanwhile, I have like stacks of paper everywhere. It's like, this is happening. Let's not kid ourselves.
Oh, that's right, Aphmau. Thank you so much for standing up for Kawaii-chan like that. That really means a lot. Where do you know? Anytime, Kawaii-chan. I know you're a hard worker. Kawaii-chan will be the best hard-working maid Aphmau has in her new cafe. I know you will.
Okay, so you say you want to open up our maid cafe, implying that Kawaii is going to be a business partner. So why is it something that Aphmau's in like full control of this? I mean, yeah, in the season later on, it does feel like Aphmau takes over and really gets into like the whole business world and stuff like that. That's part of the whole like conflict with Aaron and whatever. But also, sorry, I got something stuck in my teeth. Sorry again, got down to the bottom of the bag, so got some bad ones now. But also, she said open up our main cafe. So I always thought it was a joint business venture between them, especially because Kawaii-chan's name or like identity is kind of on the logo and the title of the place, Kawaii Treat MAIDSweet Cafe. So it always felt like it was a between them, but Aphmau's like the only one in charge. I'm not sure about that. I was not even reading the papers, he's just punching them. Maybe that's why he's never been into business, just like punches papers all the time. I'm going to make a May cafe, so it's going to be accurate. Oh, I'm interested in that actually. That's like a good premise for like not like a one set place, but a place that can really like have that it can really develop like the one location that they're normally in, you know, the workplace environment, the work family, etc., etc. I'd be up for that. I honestly, yeah. I'd love to help out in you know any way that I can. Just let me know. I mean, potentially we're going to be playing Bed Wars after this, but I know some other time. Let me know. I've conversation about that. In fact, I think there's actually a gacha series that's called something like something to do with a cafe or something that really actually constructed the set from the ground up. Actually, I was really able to work with different camera angles and such in between. And I forgot to review it actually. I have to remember that now. I need to go back and see what that was all about. It's in my search history somewhere. Anyway, I'll sort that out later.
Now, we need to find a place we can start the maid cafe. Then we need to decorate it, find new maids, and start making sweets for the place.
You also need to actually, well, I mean, decide a recipe, purchase the place, or rent it or something, register the company. There's some other things you're skipping out on here, Aphmau. As somebody who has made a business in real life, it's weird that you skipped over these details. I'm not sure what's going on now.
Please, have you tried my strawberry puffs?
Eric, everyone on the planet of MyStreet, the realm of Ruan, has tried your strawberry puffs. Rest assured, they're probably delicious, but we've all tried them. You know, to in Discord, I was experiencing breakfast lunch business and all in books and books for reals. Oh, wow. Fair enough. Are you back into that? Apple being told from the start, App being pushed in ice was one of her flaws. I mean, okay. Then again, I think everyone's like equally pushy back towards her in terms of you know getting her to help out with things. But yeah, Aphmau being you know filled with determination or whatever is definitely helpful in this instance until it becomes overboard later on. If anything, I'm glad you picked up on that because that's actually you know the through line of the season almost for her at least. Very cool. Someone to take every match to make it a dub for other countries to watch. Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, I could do a Spanish dub of MyStreet. That could work. I mean, except for the first season, really, because of the whole like screen captions and such, it would be a little bit difficult to manage with that, essentially. But yeah, I'd be up for dubbing, honestly.
Yes, Mr. Caitlin's dad, what are strawberry puffs?
Hold on, darling. I'll go grab some from the house.
I guess I'm wrong. Apparently, not everyone has tried them. Fair enough. I could help with a French doll if you want. Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Oh, this will be interesting.
It definitely will be.
Come on, Aaron. There's no time to lose. Let's make a few phone calls and see who we can rent up to help out.
Wait, Mr. Caitlin's dad, instead he dating her mum. What? Well, I guess Eric steals the last frame of the series then. Not the series, the episode. Why did I say series? Don't steal the stuff of the series. Imagine he did that. Season 7 comes out and it's just like Eric gets the last frame of the screen. Doesn't seem right. Anyway, oh. Instead he dating her mom. Well, okay. Instead of what? Wait, Mr. Caitlin's dad. Instead he. Oh. Wait, sorry. Oh, wait. Mr. Caitlin's dad isn't he dating her mom? Yeah. Why is that relevant right now? That doesn't mean that he can't show up to a place alone. It doesn't have to be with Sylvana at 24/7. I mean, thank Christ for that, because that would be torture on any human being. But like, he doesn't always have to appear side by side with her to emphasize their dating. You can just know that as a fan of the series and a watcher of season 3, episode 7. You know, by this point, you're probably fairly committed to the series and know these things by now. Usually that's how it works. Oh, why is she still calling him Mr. Caitlin's dad? Force of habit, probably. I don't know. I think she does start calling him Eric later. Pretty sure. I mean, if anything, Travis got there before she did, actually. So, yeah, I guess. I know it's kind of like when you see like an old teacher of yours, when you're all grown up or something, and you still call them like Miss or Sir or something like that. It's like, oh, don't do that. It makes me feel so old or something like that. You know, that kind of thing. That happens sometimes. If someone says something in Spanish in an English movie, how does Spanish dub work? Do they say it in English? Oh, that's a good question, because different dubs are different. I've heard it sometimes when they will just say it in Spanish as well, and it kind of ruins the joke in a way. Other times they'll say it in a different language, or they'll reference a different language. If someone references the Spanish language and doesn't say anything, they'll probably change it into Spanish one. They'll say like, oh, it's Italian or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, it will depend on like personal choice essentially. So also going back to Sylvana again, you know, because I love doing that so much. The time when she's actually bad mouthing Travis in Spanish, that would have to stay, because Sylvana being Hispanic is part of her actual roots as a character. So yeah, maybe that would probably just have to be the same as like her, you know, talking quietly or something. I think that's how it would work. So yeah, and it does seem. Oh wait, you're talking about Mr. King's that thing, yeah. I don't know, and they have to change the music intro. Actually, no. Most Spanish TV shows and stuff. Well, actually, no. A few of them do translate the songs, and usually they end up being atrocious translations. I've heard Japanese and French shows in particular suffer with this. Italian ones usually do quite well, because Italian is very similar to Spanish. But yeah, for a French or Japanese show, a lot of the time they'll just be very, very, very watered down lyrics or something that will just like, they'll fit a rhyme scheme or something and they'll rhyme with each other, but they won't really do anything further than that or mean anything of substance at all. An exception to that is actually SpongeBob. SpongeBob does it very well. But yeah. Although a lot of other shows, actually, what they'll do is just keep the intro the same or use the English version. So, like, actually, I know that Ghosty's here. So the Spanish dub of Code Lyoko, actually, what they'll do is the series Code Lyoko came with a soundtrack, with like several songs abused for the series, including the opening theme song, and an extended version with lyrics of the outro one, which I also have on CD. But obviously, those ones were actually produced in French. But they were all translated into English, and they actually do work in English. I've checked, so but yeah, that in particular means that that particular, they didn't do that in Spanish basically, but the Spanish version of the series uses the English intro, because a lot of the time Spanish shows tend to be dubs of dubs in a way. They'll take the English version because of licensing or whatever, and then they'll dub it themselves rather than taking it from the original place or something. I think that's like an easier marketing thing for them, I guess. So yeah, sometimes you'll get English themes, or you'll get Spanish ones. You'll rarely get anything in any other language, including Japanese. So yeah, I don't know. It just makes it easier, because there's a big emphasis on Spain, essentially. Not Spain. What in Spain? In Spain, there's an emphasis on learning English a lot. Like, it's gotten more prominent over the years. I went to a bilingual school in Spain to, not so I didn't lose my English while I was there or anything, and still kept up with, practicing or whatever. But also just in general public schools and whatever, they actually also have been shifting more and more towards learning English It used to be French back in the day, but they changed it at some point. But yeah, so that's why you get that kind of stuff. I really want to start talking about Spanish dubs on this channel, but the things that I need to do, like, they require lots of scripting and lots of research into them, which I just don't have the time to do. But I've wanted to start talking about Spanish dubs in particular for years because it's such a fascinating thing for me. Because I grew up with a lot of Spanish dubs, so why wouldn't it be fascinating to me? But yeah, we should start with just subbing the show, then make a dub after, I guess. But that might be a bit too close to home. That might be a bit like, oh, we're just adding. I'm pretty sure, like, you know, even here, you probably have some episodes with different closed captions or something. Let me just check. Oh, no, you don't. Never mind. You don't. That would just kind of be too close to home a little bit. It's almost like, oh, yeah, we just put words over this episode. That's not really doing much. I think it probably would be best to just go fully into a dub of the series, if anything. Just to the sake of, you know, it not being like just too much of a copy of Athmal. I say this, you know, being the person that has watched and reacted to every single episode of MyStreet that came out up to this point has turned 5 years old. I'm aware of that. I don't want to lean too much into that, essentially. What about a UK dub of MyStreet? Okay, that's also a fascinating thing. It's interesting because I'm not sure. I know that some. I had to look into this because I'm not sure, like, the place of origin of different shows, but I do know that it used to be a thing in kids media to have regional dubs in terms of, like, you know, like Bob the Builder, for example. Well, I watched Bob the Builder when I was very, very young, and therefore I was in the US, so I watched an American dub. Then, as it turns out, I watched one episode of something when I was in the UK, and there's a British dub, which is the exact same script, but just with British accents. So I don't really know what's the point, honestly. It's like just saying, oh yeah, we'll just give all the characters different accents. It's like, what's the point? I don't understand. Like, that's why it's not common practice nowadays, I think. The UK dub is not being done by Americans. Well, duh, why would they? Like, that would be even worse for them. Like, oh yeah, let's just spend all this time, you know, in marketing that we could and like in efforts putting into this, then, you know, a huge budget of casting actors and such, only to ship it out to a place with less viewership that we can already hit by just having the dub ourselves. That would make no business sense whatsoever. I would fire the person on spot if they pitched that to me. No, I wouldn't do that. I would just, like, you know, joke about it. But yeah, it's not so much like, oh yeah, different English episode that's so much fun as something. It's not that different and English. That's the thing. Like, I'd say there's more differences between the average Shakespeare play and modern English of American or British English than there is between American and British English. Like, yes, you can get certain words that are a little bit different or whatever, and that's happened in certain books as well. Like, you know, the Harry Potter series where you know, some parts will change, like, you know, not just like the title of like Philosopher's Stone to Sorcerer's Stone or whatever, but also stuff like bin and pavement being changed to trash can and sidewalk and stuff like that. You get that in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy too. It's just that's something that happens sometimes in books usually, but with TV shows, it's just not worth the effort. So it's not common practice anymore. Bob the Builder was made donkeys years ago, and I think they learned from that mistake. As far as I'm concerned, the world moved on from having that be a custom, because it's just like, people have different accents. So what? It's fine. We can deal with it. We can, you know, we can understand people if they don't speak exactly like us, for crying out loud. What to do with Shakespeare? Oh my word. That's even more like 1400s. Shakespeare would be like 1500s, late 1500s to early 1600s. But I see your point. Like, why? Why would you do that? Again, it's not worth the effort to be understood by less people as well. Like, that would actually really like properly hinder. I don't understand why. Like, maybe as a joke, one episode or something, but not the whole series. It's like 200 plus episodes of this series. That's not going to happen. No way. No way. Absolutely not. Oh, why am I still playing this? Okay. So, in terms because you're bored, well then work on the French version then. That's actually useful to people. I don't know. Or talk to Ghosty about this. Or we're gonna play Bed Wars in a second because I'm finishing the stream now. So yeah, Aphmau, wherefore art thou, Aphmau? Yeah, that's another thing. Roman Juliet just to be the thing. Yeah, I've already talked about how I'm not a fan of that play. I'm not going to get into why now because I have a whole stream about that. In fact, I have 3 streams about that when I did the neighborhood play reviews. But yes, we're going to play Bed Wars now. So that means that we're going to actually end this right now. And we shall return to what's the next episode, which I can't remember what it is actually. What is it? Oh, I don't have the playlist up here. Well, let's go back into here then. What is next episode? Come on, leave full screen. Leave full screen. There we go. We'll see the is Hot Guy Gets the Job. I just remembered who the hot guy is, so that's debatable, but we will deal with that on October 11th, which is when the episode came out. So I will see you all in 3 days' time, not in the next 8 days, in the next 3 days. So yes, same time, same place, 5 years later. Before then, please leave a like or dislike because your opinion matters, and subscribe if you've not done so already. And on that note, until next time, I have to check to see which where I'm streaming from. I'm not streaming from here. Wrong tab thingy. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Here we go. Now, on that note, until next time, farewell.